If you are newly joining us, welcome to our art celebration that is part of the Unity of Humanity Festival. Closer. Better? Okay. Before I introduce the next artist, our poet laureate, Julie Feliciela, she's just going to say a few words.
Kwe, Jalasi, Ndavisi Julie means hello, welcome, my name is Julie. Now I am Mi'kmaq, and I reside in this beautiful unceded territory known as Mi'kmaqi, and I would like to welcome all of you here together in peace and friendship. Enjoy your night, use what you can, take what you'd like, but most of all, I hope you all enjoy. Malayo, thank you.
Program that we have a gathering of poets. Now, I'm not sure what the collective noun is for poets. I don't know if it's a smashing explosion. I'm not sure. But we have 3 poets that I would like to introduce to you now. First, we'll hear from Diane Hicks Morrow. And then we will hear a piece by Louise Burley. And to finish, we will have some poetry by Peter Kessler. So here is our smashing of poets.
Thank you for inviting me to this wonderful event. And what perspective am I bringing? I think the themes of renewal and a search for truth are what are calling to me in my 70s. Better late than never. And so I'm reading a few poems that I think speak to those themes. Peace Lily, now that was too close. Peace Lily, does my peace lily know how unpeaceful I've been since my father's death? Is that why it's not bloomed since his funeral 2 falls ago? I've seen yellowed peace lily plants full of mites bloom defiantly in banks and dentists' offices. I must love mine too much. Its large leaves, deep green and shiny, tell it there's no need to flower. It thinks it will live forever. So I try it in the sun porch, let it wilt once in a while, feel what it's like to be afraid of dying. Its leaves burn, too much sun for its tropical heart. I move it to the shady kitchen sideboard, water it often, now that I know it's a jungle plant. Its leaves shine green again. My hairdresser just throws a cup of water on hers whenever it wilts down. Its pale leaves produce prolific blooms despite fumes that give me headaches. My cousin's peace lily blooms under a drafty window. Neglect, she says, is the secret. I'm fed up with burgeoning shoots that hint of blooms but unfurl as new leaves. Barely notice the thicker one I saw last week. Today I see its white tip, soon to open into the first bloom since Dad's death. I pray its white beauty will bring me peace. And I'm going to read you a very short poem called Loom. And this actually happened. It is the truth. And it was on one of the Women's Institute Tip-to-Tip bike rides, 2002 to be exact. But when this book came out, one of the reviewers referred to this poem as deeply metaphysical. And I thought, oh, I like that. Good. Moon. The single lovely bird in this sudden pond beside the bike trail startles. Yes, it has the checkerboard back, wide neck, definitely not a cormorant. I've never been this close to a moon before. Its red eye fixes me before it flies. I pedal away, blessed to be its only human witness. Now, here's the audience participation part. You have to listen up. I labored over this, what became this book, for about 10 years, and was ready to pitch the pile of poems, and I paid good money to take a workshop at St. Yves University with Anne Simpson, whose poetry I loved, and met the class the first morning and was all excited. And then, walking across the campus, I fell into a wheelchair dip that I failed to see while talking to somebody new who was on the inside of the sidewalk. So I ended up at home. I smashed my entire foot. And so Anne Simpson gave me kind of a big handout, and everybody kept saying, well, at least you'll have lots of time to write on your living room couch this was the first week in July, did I mention? And I was too angry to write, but I tried a paradiddle, which is an invention of Billy Collins when he was the American Poet Laureate, and everybody was doing old-fashioned form poems, and he kind of invented this and started writing them, and eventually, years later, revealed it was a joke, and by then there were whole anthologies of paradiddles. So you're going to participate in this. All you have to do is repeat the line that I read when I go like this, and you will see how this works. So it's called Tiny Things, and I wrote it from the wheelchair, very disgruntled. And I think it's about renewal and search for truth, for sure. Here we go. Slug slow, she sees tiny things now.
Slug slow, she sees tiny things now.
Slithers into a sticky new realm, gets stuck.
Slithers into a sticky new realm, gets stuck.
So the thing about a paradiddle is you then have to use all those words to create the fifth and sixth line of the stanza, but you only get to use them once, the repeated words. So here's what I came up with. Now she gets stuck in tiny slithers. Slugs a sticky realm, sees new, slow things. Okay, next stanza. I was really down here. The chasm between despair and dream.
The chasm between despair and dream
Splits wide open in a second of daring insight.
splits wide open in a second of daring insight.
Open wide the despair between daring splits, and in a second chasm, dream hot insight. What difference in the end despair and dream are one?
What difference in the end despair and dream are one?
That's really good. The hummingbird in the red begonia blossom may be all there is.
The hummingbird in the red begonia blossom may be all there is.
Oh, sorry, it's supposed to be could be all there is. That matters. Here's the next two lines. There is one red difference in despair. Dream the hummingbird. The end could be a begonia blossom. And what are all? So the final stanza, I'm sure you can guess, you have to use all the words in the preceding stanzas. And to do this, I found it was best to scribble them all over a page and then cross them out when you use them. Slug, slow, and sticky, dream is stuck in a chasm between despair and end. The second splits hot, wide open. Red slithers into begonia. One could blossom there in a new insight. Tiny darings are the hummingbird realm. Sees what difference and be in the all of things. Thank you.
I'm so very honored to be here. This is full of the most beautiful art, and yeah, a sense of spirit running through it. And so it's great to be here and to see you all. This piece is not going to really fit with fall because I wrote it last year at Easter time, and so it's very much more to do connected with spring. And it takes place over the Easter weekend, so there's 3 sections. First Good Friday, and then Holy Saturday, and then Easter Sunday. So you have to kind of almost imagine yourselves 5-6 months forward to kind of understand, I guess. Anyway, so number 1, Good Friday. Loneliness. You tell yourself, keep control, and it seems possible. This will end, you tell yourself. Have faith. This will end. You'll break through. But there is the irresistible tug of those silent demons who say, you are forsaken. You could do something else, even just look out onto the world, alert to stillness and movement. But somehow instead despair falls over you like a shadow. It's strange, terrible. And the muted fear, not so muted really. Think of something else. Count your blessings, but the quiet panic of loneliness spreads like a fire hidden beneath the taller grass, its appetite increasing by consumption. In fact, the hunger for something, anything, is a gagged shout, a smothered scream in a nightmare, and it claws over your landscape, whispering dully, feed me, please, someone, I thirst. Oh, you are lonely, all right, and you're scared of your aloneness, the scorched earth disappearing into lifeless sand. You are barren, drawn inexorably toward barren. You have forsaken you. 2. Saturday. This utterly mysterious change, a dead, frozen earth, leafless trees, nature in a coma, and then the signal, and something invisible stirs, a minuscule twitch of muscle. Deep down in the dark, spring is a sleeping giant. She slowly bunches one fist against the rock of soil that holds her in its tomb. That fist, with the power of dynamite in slow motion, punches the frozen earth and sends a bulb shoot forcefully through the crack. What? I could bend that soft leaf between 2 fingers. How does it split the iron-hard earth like a bullet? Sap sits thick as hardened glue in the roots of the trees until spring clutches that with glue in her massive fist and it warms and trickles between her fingers, then begins its escape, driving upward. What was dry and beige stings abruptly with acid green. Moss. When? How? A fox screeches as he races toward his mate, toward a consummation like an attack. Strange, violent beginning. Spring clenches her stony fist, and gradually, suddenly, old erupts into new. What word rolled the stone away? And lastly, Sunday. Every day I go stare at the earth around my peonies, insisting and finally begging for a glimpse of even one red shoot, shedding crumbs of dirt as it hits the open air. Come, I command. Come up. Please come up. Don't be dead. You can do it. I'll stare you into life. I say, well, not exactly say, express the same urgent plea to the skeletal larch I planted last spring, whose soft needles might be the sweetest blur of summer. Wordless, I tell the prickly, elegant teasel, come back. You were here last year. You can't have disappeared. And to the milkweed, who, if some green life flows through its brittle stalk, might, just might, draw down monarch butterflies come July. To that milkweed stalk I say, give me a sign, anything. The smallest tinge of color. I stare and stare at these dry things, willing life to flow. But life takes orders from something not me. Not my will. Not my larch. Not my teasel. Not my rosy sky. Not my ribbon of tide pulled out by the moon. Not my clams like tiny whales blowing shouts of salt water from their sandy dens. Not my wire worms in the manure, though I crush them with a mixture of fear and glee. I can kill them, but I cannot make them. Not my wind, not my rain, not my turning world. Yours. Your turning world, your sunrise, your whales and wire worms, seed-stuffed pods, your inside, outside. But where are you? We crush and slam, grab, poison and pollute, dig and beg, and you do not fix things. That's our job. You do not wave a magic wand or smile our wishes into being. You wait. Wait longer still. Wait until your will be done. And then, oh Lord, the light.
This is a 12-part poem, and we've got parts of the poems here. I'm hoping that you will read them along with me, say them along with me, and I can cue you when it's your turn. So you'll see the part over there. The first parts are not there on your sheet. They're here. And the first poem I'll read in French and then in English. So, part 1, lassitude. L'univers se terre dans sa chambre, ferme la porte et pleure. Cet après-midi, à l'extérieur, tout est triste. Va-t'en. Laisse l'univers seul à extirper ses barrages, à laisser couler ses rivières vers la mer, renvoie l'oiseau à son chef argenté, enlève les mouches au visage des enfants, fais un feu et une chaudronnée de soupe, trouve la poupée de roseau et nourris les chiens. Reviens plus tard, quand le ciel aura été filtré, le minéral revenu à son état pur. Les forêts boréales régénérées, les éléphants dans leurs troupeaux ancestraux, la peine nécessaire protégée dans ses os. À la mémoire, des cétacés nagent de toutes côtés dans l'océan.
les oiseaux dans le ciel, les poissons dans la mer, les singes bien chez eux avec leur famille. Va-t'en pour un instant, s'il te plaît. The same poem in English, Weary. The world goes into its room, shuts the door, weeps. Out there, this afternoon, all of it sad. Go away. Leave the world alone to remove dams, run rivers to sea, return songbird to wolf willow. Wipe flies from children's faces, make a fire and a pot of soup. Find the reed dog, feed the dogs. Come back later, after the sky has been filtered or unsmelted. Boreal forest, regrown, elephants. Easy in ancestral herds, necessary sorrow sheltered in bones. Cetaceans swimming memory up and down the oceans, birds to air, fish to sea, monkeys home with their families. Go away a few moments, please. And together, part 3, River of Unity. Yes, we are weary. The earth is in need. Humans need solace, direction, wisdom, hope. Let us remember the teachings of the great spiritual ones. Let us remember a river of unity runs through humankind. Oh no spit. I can't turn the page. Sorry. Part 4, Day Stars. And this is from Baha'u'llah, The Hidden Words, Part 2, verse 73. Oh, my friend. So let's do this together. Oh, my friend, thou art the day star of the heavens of my holiness. Let not the defilement of the world eclipse thy splendor. Rend asunder the veil of heedlessness, that from behind the clouds thou mayest emerge resplendent, and array all things with the apparel of life. Part 5, A Simple Girl. Anne Boyles gave me a copy of a version of her story for children about the peasant girl, Zainab, who lived around 1853. So I thank Anne for teaching me about Zainab. Part 5, A Simple Girl. Oh, Zainab, you did not run away in fear, no. You had the words of the Bab in your heart. You were a day star of the heavens of holiness, a girl woman of Zanjan, a peasant girl, a simple girl, filled with the fire of truth, not caring for personal safety. Wearing men's clothing, you fought with the men to protect your people, the Babis, holding truth before you as the sharpest weapon, the strongest protection. 17 decades ago, the fearless Zainab. Part 6. You have part of this, but not the first part. Part 6, Who Now? Let us recall heroines and heroes of the past and ask ourselves, are there new courageous ones among us now? Are we not all day stars? Are we not the sleeping ones waiting to awaken? In the blink of an eye, we can see a sure path across the ages to the present moment. Here's the part you have. Always, always, there is the wisdom of the great spiritual leaders. Always, always, there is the unity of humanity. Does your heart warm with the beauty of Baha'u'llah's metaphor? We are day stars. We can shimmer with the courage of Zainab, Gandhi, Jeanne d'Arc, King, Mandela, Malala Yousafzai, Greta Thunberg. Part 7. A river flows in us. A river of wisdom and fearlessness runs through us. It washes away the veil of heedlessness. Water rushes down from the mountain to the sea. River stones turn and turn, become smooth. It is the pattern we hold inside us. Part 8, it's not on your sheet either. This is from Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching, number 47. You don't have to go out the door to know what goes on in the world. You don't have to look out the window to see the way of heaven. The farther you go, the less you know. So, the wise soul doesn't go, but knows, doesn't look, but sees, doesn't do, but gets it done. And part 9, you have every cell. Just let me get it. Sorry. I'll get it ready to turn. Part 9, every cell. Let us celebrate the unity of humanity. We celebrate our unity. Let us be filled with deep remembering. We remember our day star selves. Let every cell and fiber of us know the light and the truth that flows in us all. Every cell and fiber of us knows. Part 10 is from Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass. It's from Leaves of Grass, which was published in 1855, almost concurrent with Zainab and with not concurrent with Baha'u'llah, but not far away. So from Song of Myself by Walt Whitman, a little passage: I celebrate myself and sing myself, and what I assume, you shall assume, for every atom belonging to me, as good as belongs to you. The next to last part is called Look or Leap, and then we'll do part 12. Look or leap, swift, instinctive, the hand seizes hold of a child's shirt, cotton, just in time, back from the edge, traffic, ditch, harm. A different edge this, a transfiguration, cotton thin, the allure and necessity certain. Here is a shirt tail to grasp, only now resist from laying hold, free the self from dark routine, habitual retreat. Leap. And the last part, first a couple of lines from that first poem, Weary, Lassitude. The sacred, part 12, the sacred pattern inside, outside. Laisse l'univers seul à laisser couler ses rivières vers la mer. Leave the world alone to run rivers to sea. And here we go. Together. Good breath in. Let us be filled with deep remembering. We remember our star selves. Let every fiber and cell know the river of kindness and light and truth that flows in us all. We hold the sacred pattern in silence. Let us not eclipse the splendor of life. We will not eclipse the splendor of life on earth. Next again.